somewhat like this, and all the measurements have been given at the section. So before starting, of course, you'll have to fix a working directory. You can see I have set it inside desktop in a folder of my name. Click OK. Namaste everyone. In this video, we will be making this particular model part. You can see the part looks somewhat like this. You can see that this part is radially symmetric. There is just one cross section which has been revolved about an axis to get this particular shape. The dimensions of this object has been given like this, wherein we have the section of this, which is the section plane is passing through the axis of the object, and all the dimensions are given over here. So as usual, before we start, we'll have to set the working directory. I have set it on the desktop in a folder of my name and click OK. Now I can open a new file and give it whatever name I want to give it. Let me just question 2. This is 2. Click OK. Achha, before clicking OK, now because the dimensions are higher, I think the units are in mm. I can just go with the default template. Click OK. Okay, now comes the difficult, the part. So at this point, we know that we will have to use the revolve feature instead of the extrude feature. So let me take revolve, and now I have to define a sketch for this revolve. So for defining this, I'll have to select plane. I'll select a vertical plane. Now at this point, if your settings are correct, it will reorient automatically. If it doesn't happen, you just have to click on this button. Now that it has oriented properly, you will have to create this cross section. Now one thing to be noted here is you don't have to create the cross section on both the sides the way it has been shown here. You just have to create it on one side, and then when you revolve it, you will get the complete object which is shown over here. So let's proceed. So for me, I'll just go ahead and create the right side of the sketch. So I'll just draw a few lines. Okay, and I'll just click the mid mouse button at this point, and we can see that we are getting some dimensions. Now here I want the total diameter instead of the distance from the central axis. So in order to do that, in order to get that, I have to click on this axis, the center line, and click 2 points here. Then click the mid mouse button to come out of this. Now you can see that as soon as we place this axis, instead of getting the distance from the axis, most of the distances will get transformed and show diameter in paper. So I can change this length to 100. This is 300, and the height here is 20. Okay, so now that we have fed these dimensions, let me continue to draw the rest of the section. So it is somewhat like this. Here it is like this. So you need not worry about giving the exact distance at this point. You just need to ensure that proper constraints are applied. So whatever line is vertical should remain vertical. If there is any coincidence, for example, this point is coincident with the axis, those are the points you need to choose correctly. Once you have drawn this correctly, click the mid mouse button 2 times to get the dimensions. And if whatever dimensions are shown here, they are already appearing here, you can just modify it. And if they are not appearing, you may have to create. Okay, we can see that this distance is taken from the base, whereas what distance we have here is not from the base, it is from another height. Okay, so it's of course the one way to do is to calculate this as 50 minus 20, but we will go ahead and create this dimension. So click this, and mid mouse button you can click. This we can directly change it to 50. Then we have 2 more heights. One is from this point to here. So let's go ahead and click this point here, then click this and mid mouse button somewhere here. This distance we can see it is 200, and we have another distance that is total up to the, so dimension is still active. Click this point, this line, and mid mouse here, this 250, and the rest of the diameters 300, 400, 300 is correct. You can see that there are no other dimensions, all the constraints are created properly. And yeah, I think now we can click on OK, and you can see the object is getting revolved. So in order for the revolve to take place in the sketch, we need to keep this particular axis. Without this axis, revolve will not, and neither will these dimensions appear showing the diameters instead of the radii. So click OK, and once more click OK.